Yo, mic check para sa podcast na madali lang pakinggan. Pwede kaming white noise while you're washing the pinggan. Jump rope, biking, jogging, or driving sa daan. Willing kaming sumama sa inyo kahit saan. The Brodies, hindi ka nag-iisa.
Alright, thank you very much. Good morning everybody, good afternoon, and good evening sa mga nakikinig sa amin all over the world. Wow, ang dami. Anyway, so today, welcome to the Brodies PH. Our podcast is made for the young men and women. Today, very special kasi we have a guest na basa nyo naman sa ating description. And we're here as a community. If you do not have anything while on traffic, we can be your white noise, and we can you can learn from us a thing or two sa mga guests namin and also sa mga experience na sinishare namin here. So like what I mentioned today, meron tayong special guest. Ito yung ating first among the set sa set natin ng series na every young woman should know. So wag na nating patagalin pa. Let's all welcome. Bati ka naman, Ate Jenn Punzalan. Yay!
Oh, good morning, Jack. Sa mga broskies ba, yung bang tawag?
Brodies po. Brodies.
Brodies, sorry. Brodies, mga ka-brodies nyo. Thanks for inviting me, Jack. I'm sure mag-enjoy tayo sa kwentuhan natin ngayon.
Yeah. It's our pleasure, Ate Jenn. Wala lang si Adrian ngayon kasi na-busy daw siya. Hindi ko alam, may shooting yata. Alam mo naman yung friend natin, medyo busy yun eh. So, I have to do it on my own. Medyo na-starstruck lang ako kasi parang nakakahiya naman.
Masyado. Okay. Kalma ka lang dyan. Joke.
Ako lang to. Hindi. Anyway, so moving on tayo, guys. So our first segment is called the Brodies Check In, where we're going to update them. Ano nangyayari sa atin? Also, yung mga recommendations natin from air fryer to vacuum to Netflix series to a new song to a podcast or a coffee, whatever. So Ate Jenn, would you want to go first?
Recommendation. Actually, dito sa NCR naglumuluwag na tayo, 'di ba?
Oh yeah.
Oo, kaya mas okay nang mga road trips. I'm sure miss natin lahat na lumabas. Recommendation ko for road trip, Tanay. Tanay Rizal.
Oh,
Yun yung
wow.
discovery namin this pandemic kasi medyo malapit-lapit siya. And siya yung one of the first na nag-open kasi for visitors. So we often go there. Maraming mga campsites to go or kahit bundok lang actually. Magpa-park ka lang, maglalatag ka lang ng banig, tas kain-kain kayo doon, magdala ng gitara, whatever. Pwede magligawan doon actually.
Ayan na, naku.
Pero dala-dala namin mga bata normally, our kids. So we just really enjoy the nature. So yun, I would recommend Tanay in Rizal to go for a day trip or overnight.
Nice. Kasi hindi siya ganun kalayo.
Oo. Yes.
Diba?
Tapos
Kasi
wala kang toll na binabayaran.
yes, exactly. Naalala ko dati, tinanong ko yung papa ko. Sabi ko, sa Tanay Rizal kami pupunta. So, anong iti-take when I drive? Tinanong ko siya. Sabi ko, ano ba, SLEX or NLEX? Sabi niya, wala. Sabi ko, ha? Saan nadaan?
Yeah, sa Marcos Highway.
Yes, kasi east, parang gano'n. Sabi ko, okay. Sige. So Tanay Rizal worth driving to, tapos nature pa, 'di ba?
Yes.
Anyway,
sobrang good for the soul.
Yeah, good for the soul. So lalo na ngayon, congratulations sa Ate Jenn sa Metro Manila. Balita ko parang 2 days ago, below 1,000 na yung cases ng COVID.
Amen.
Praise God talaga.
Yes.
I can't believe my eyes talaga when I saw that. Oh my gosh. Totoo ba?
Sana tuloy na.
That's right. So sa akin naman, from Tanay Rizal, sa akin kasi, alam mo naman, Tito Things, meron ako mga, before kasi sabi ko, pag nagbabasa ako ng Bible, ayokong sulatan kasi sayang naman. Tsaka medyo dapat formal lang Bible eh. Ngayon, nakita ko kasi yung mga leaders din natin nagsusulat sa Bible. So, I bought yung pen na 0.5 na yung tatak Pigma. Yan, pwede niyong i-try yan. So pangsulat talaga sa Bible kasi hindi siya nagbi-bleed sa likod even if parang ang nipis lang nung page ng Bible. So there, you can try it out. Pigma na 0.03 or 0.05 will do so that mas maliit na sulat, mas marami kang notes and mabibilugan. All right? So there, I hope that one helps you. And second, second portion ng ating podcast is our shout out, doubt out. So here we're going to comment or shout out or mention those people who are worth commending and doing really an impact sa kanilang community and to the people around them. So, Ate Jenn, would you want to go first?
Ako, syempre normally hindi ko naman i-mention yung family ko, 'di ba? Parang masyado naman inaangat ang sarili. Pero dahil birthday niya ngayon,
yes.
shout out ko yung aming panganay, si Nate Punzalan. So he is actually a content creator on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I think he's all over, but I'm just really so proud of him because he uses his platform to empower the people of his generation and to educate them on different issues. Lately, he's been talking about just mental health, wellness, and helping people how to overcome anxiety or burnout or how to keep yourself just healthy in every aspect. So happy birthday, Nate! Actually, we're going to Tanay later. Kaya
naman pala.
Ko. Diba, we're going there with his friends. Magpipiknik kami and watch the sunset together.
Nice. What a plan. Happy birthday, Nate, and thank you for doing what you're doing. You're adding value to this generation actually. And alam ko, dumaming followers niya kasi worth following eh. Kasi content kung content, di ba? I mean, walang tapon sa mga content niya. So, good job, Nate. Shout out to you. And sa akin naman, I just like to shout out the Dumawal siblings. Those people, itong magkakapatid na to, sobrang galing sa yung kamay nila. Sobrang ginawa ni God to really create like awesome and amazing things, from song creating, from poster making, from si Jetro sa basketball, athletics, and yung mga ganong bagay. But then, I'd like to shout out si Jed, Jem, and Jet. Yan. Na-miss na namin kayo. And visit naman kayo sa amin ulit. Thank you.
Hi, Jem. Si Jem yung graphics designer namin sa IG ng Woman of Victory. Super talented and gifted.
Yes. Ang lagi kong kinukwento, sabi ko kay Jem, alam ko na ang tagline mo. Sabi niya, ano yun, Kuya Jack? Sabi ko, singgaling pero di sing mahal. Kasi niloloko namin si Jed, yung kuya nila. Sabi ko, mahal kasi manigil ni Jed eh. So, doon ka na lang sa sister. Singgaling pero di sing mahal. Anyway.
Habang hindi pa mahal.
That's right. So, kailangan magpagawa na tayo doon. Anyway, so, all right, so let's move on to our topic for today. Our topic for today, like what I mentioned a while ago, we have Every Young Man na podcast series, and I think you guys enjoyed that, and you are asking for yung counterpart nun, Every Young Woman Should Know. So here we are, we have Ate Jenn Punzalan in the house. So we are going to talk about Every Young Woman Should Know. So, okay, let's start. Ate Jenn, if there's something brewing in your heart right now, and you're gonna be facing like an 18-year-old, 15-year-old, 22 years old na ladies right now, what are those things that you want to tell them?
Yeah. Actually, marami talaga, di ba? When it comes to young women, single women, no, in particular, maraming pwedeng pag-usapan. But I chose to go this direction today kasi I get asked also by a lot of my single friends how to go about just handling relationships with the opposite sex and dating, di ba? Especially among Christian circles. Okay ba mag-date? Paano ba mag-date? Yung mga questions na ganon. So I think it will be fun for us to talk about it.
Yeah.
Wala naman kasi talagang sinasabi ang Bible directly on dating. Di ba? Marami yan on marriage.
Yes.
O yung mga husbands love your wives, wives submit to your husbands. Basta marriage, dami, very clear ang Bible. But on dating, parang iba-iba yung story. So if you go through all the couples in the Bible, I wish I wish yung story natin parang Adam and Eve, di ba? Paggising ni Adam, andun na kagad yung asawa niya.
That's right,
Di ba?
yeah.
Parang walang trabaho on his part. And even Eve, no waiting on her part. Can you imagine? Paggising niya, may asawa na ako. Parang, di ba, no need to that. Alam mo yung awkward face na gusto ba niya ako? Ganon, liligawan ba niya ako? Ano, it was just God put them together. I hope that's the story of everyone, di ba? Parang matatanggal lahat ng heartbreak natin and trauma and pain. But then you look at the story of Jacob and Rachel, iba din. And Jacob had to work for Rachel for 14 years. Can you imagine?
Tinrabaho niya talaga.
Trinabaho niya. So parang ang daming iba-ibang stories in the Bible which we can conclude na wala siyang specific format or formula.
That's right.
When it comes to dating. Kaya today, what I want us to talk about, Jack, are the principles that can guide us through the dating phase.
Interesting. Amazing. Because I think, though I heard some of those things, but nothing compares kung manggaling sa people who have really discipled young ladies in the past. So, Ate Jen, I'm excited. Let's start with that.
Yeah. Also, I have to mention na my kids kasi, so my eldest is married. Yung may birthday today, he's 26. So we went through that with him. Diba?
Oh, yeah.
Now we have a 22-year-old girl and an 18-year-old boy who are currently andito sa dating stage. So even if we're gonna talk about this. Ako rin, parang it's a learning process for me also. Kasi iba-iba din yan. Sabi ko nga, walang formula eh. I cannot expect na the way my eldest son handled it will be the same way that my second son, si Ryan, would handle it.
Parehas lang yan. Hindi, I hope ganun eh. Pero hindi talaga.
Hindi eh. Iba-iba siya eh. Pati yung girl ko, syempre pag girl, iba din. From a perspective of a girl,
that's right.
Paano? How will I handle? So, ang pag-usapan natin, principles. Hindi siya formula, hindi siya rules.
That's right. Yeah.
These are things that can guide us.
Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, Ate Jen, I just have a question for you. When you were dating Pastor Paulo before, did someone mention principles to you? Like, how did you go about it before we go to your points?
Yeah. Actually, meron kaming guidance. But looking back, because this was more than 26 years ago.
Huh?
Yes, I know, hindi halata.
Parang 12 lang, ganyan.
Don't mention it na.
Nag-lag out bigla. Ayoko na nga.
But I am so happy for our generation today. Like ito, your podcast, they have a resource that can help them through this stage. Diba? They have a lot of books. They can watch YouTube videos, daming mentors. But admittedly, during my time, we didn't have this kind of resource. So a lot of it was, alam mo yung kapa-kapa and learning along the way. So we had a few people guide us. Iba pa rin yung wealth of resources that is available to the young people today. So I hope that everyone listening talaga will make the most out of this blessing na wow, ang daming pwedeng makatulong sa akin. And hopefully, with all these resources, you can avoid the mistakes that we did.
Hopefully,
I did.
yeah.
Oo, diba? Kasi ibang-iba na talaga yung dynamics ngayon in terms of information and empowerment, diba?
Yep. I think we can start, Ate Jen. So the floor is yours. I'll just explore on that and then tingnan natin kung ano.
Oo nga. So I am gonna share 3 principles when it comes to Christian dating and relationship with the opposite sex, whether boy or girl ka. Number 1 is pursue Jesus above all. Yun talaga. Kasi nakita ko na yan eh. Maraming beses na 2 people try to make a relationship work. And this isn't even marriage yet. It's boyfriend-girlfriend.
Dun pa lang.
Yun pa lang. But at the end, parang they start demanding from each other or ang tataas na expectation sa isa't isa. Kasi bawat isa sa atin, merong void sa puso natin na kailangang mapuno eh. 'Di ba parang you're just longing for something and you're hoping na yung boyfriend ko ang makakasagot nito or yung girlfriend ko makakasagot nito. But it's just a matter of time, marirealize mo, hindi pala tao ang makakasagot nung deepest longing ng puso ko. And ako, I've been married. Sinabi ko na nga, more than 20 years eh. I was so excited to get married. Andun din yung expectation na, wow, at least I have someone in my life to make me happy, to make me secure, 'di ba? To make all my dreams come true. Parang yun yung iniisip mo going into the marriage. And then years down the road, you realize na hindi pala siya, kulang pala. Kahit ibigay niya yung todo-todo niya, kulang. So even ako, as a married person, I went through that period of, for lack of a better word, I would say disillusionment. Kasi you're trying to look for the things you need in a person na hindi talaga mabibigay ng isang tao. That's why my advice before you enter a relationship or even start exploring a relationship, you should have an active pursuit of God first and allow God to fill your deepest needs as a person. Parang buo siya, and then you enter into a relationship. It's not one half ka, one half siya, and then it makes a whole. Hindi eh. Ibang math when it comes to relationship, diba? You have to be whole, he has to be whole, and then you make one whole.
That's right. Ate Jen, I think I like what you said na yung operative word is active pursuit.
Yeah.
Diba? Active. Parang hindi sapat yung parang, okay na, tinanggap ko naman na si Jesus eh. Siguro Christian na rin naman siya. Okay na. Siguro okay na yan. Kasi if you're going to think about it, yung mga taong buo at buo na nga, pag nagsama, minsan, nag-aaway pa rin. Nag-aaway pa rin talaga, di ba? So, ang dami pa rin insecurities, ang dami pa rin issues, trauma that will go, yung lalabas along the way. So, might as well go back and you have, ang galing talaga, di ba? Pag nag-aaway kayo, so ang galing lang nung active pursuit na kapag hindi kayo okay, pursue Jesus again, go back.
Tama. Yeah. I cannot overemphasize that word active. Parang don't look for a person who just attends church on Sundays. Parang wag ka makontent doon.
Galing, yeah.
Kailangan reading the Bible, studying the Word. Talagang alam mong seeking God pa rin siya every single day. Kasi yun lang, otherwise, you will both reach the point talaga na parang kulang to. Both of you will be unhappy.
Hilaw, parang hilaw pa.
Hilaw. If you enter the relationship and both of you aren't pursuing God actively, madidisappoint lang kayo sa isa't isa.
If I'm a young woman, how will I know if this guy is pursuing Jesus?
Oh, yeah. Good question. You know that will happen kasi syempre hindi naman yan interview basis, di ba?
So, meron kang panukat. Hindi ka 70% lang.
Hindi. Kaya ang advice ko talaga, even sa mga kids ko, guys, take your time. Huwag mong madaliin kasi may mga bagay na madidiscover mo lang through time.
That's right.
Pwede namang sa labas. Wow, parang he seems to be pursuing God kasi always present yan pag Sunday service. 'Di ba? Always present yan sa small group niya. Yun madaling makita initially. Pero yung conversations nyo, in time, yung during dates or calls, doon mo makikita talaga yung lalim nung tao sa relationship niya with God. Kaya suggest wait a few months before you commitment to a particular person. Maraming madaling i-fabricate Para alam mo 'yon, parang ang daling hindi pwedeng mag-post yan everyday sa IG, parang
best foot forward.
Oo, best foot forward, pero it's time that will test a person's relationship with the Lord and all those conversations. And let's say nagka-problema siya sa trabaho, and then you will see paano niya i-solve to? Pupunta ba siya kay God? Diba? Will he try it? Or will he try it on his own? Or pag nagka-financial problem, paano siya ma-respond? Diba?
Right.
Yun, pag may temptation, dun mo makikita in time. takes time to see that person. So wag niyo madaliin
So much wisdom there.
para talaga. Mm.
Huwag niyong madaliin. Wala namang cut-off guys. Okay lang yan. Just take your time. Right? Ang ganda lang nun kasi, Ate Jen, yung pressure, tsaka when you serve together, when you serve together, kunyari, parehas kayong ministry, whatever, I'm not saying na dapat parehas kayo, you see her or him, how he or she decides on things. Yung mga,
Yes.
ano ba yung center niya, ano ba yung values na iniingatan niya, parang, so, yun yung ating parang, at least somehow guidelines on how to see if that person is really with Jesus and he's
Yeah.
pursuing or she's pursuing God. Anyway,
Right.
nice one, Ate Jen. And then moving on tayo, I think you still have more things to
Yes.
say, right?
My second point is guard your heart. Okay, very cliche na to palagi nating sinasabi. 'Di ba?
Right.
But there are two things that we normally guard. One is the very precious things in our lives. We guard it. So kung meron kang, alam mo yung napamana sa yung alahas or jewelry, ginaguard mo yan, tinatago mo yan sa safe or in a locked cabinet because that's something of high value to you. Super important, ayaw mong mawala. Another thing we guard is also something that's very dangerous. Kaya when we go to the zoo, nakakulong yung mga lions and tigers because they're very dangerous, 'di ba? So i-guard mo yung mga things that can hurt you. And guess what? I talked about something very important, something precious, and something very dangerous. Our heart. Our heart is something very important because the Bible says, guard your heart for out of it flows everything. It is the wellspring of life.
That's
Also,
right.
it's very dangerous. This same heart that's the wellspring of life is the same heart that can be deceitful. Right? That can lead you to wrong emotions and to wrong decisions. That's why we have to guard our hearts.
Yep. I really like that. It's both important and dangerous. I did not see that as a dangerous. I know it's important, and by all means, you guard important things in your life and valuable things in your life. That's why yung mga iPhone ng mga iba dyan, double yung casing, mga ganun. So, ang dami nila mga, but then I did not see it as dangerous. I know it deceives me so many times, but to the point of being so dangerous compared to like animals in the zoo. Yeah, you are very, very correct about that. Just a follow-up question though. What are the guard rails that we can put in our hearts to be able to really guard our hearts?
Right. Marami siyang guardrails pero siguro just for the sake of time, one guardrail is do not make the wrong assumptions about men who try to build a relationship with you. Because your assumptions, because your emotions will follow your assumptions.
Makes sense, yeah.
So if a guy, let's say, asks you for coffee, di ba? Okay lang naman, di ba? Tapos,
ako naman nagsasan life.
Oo, yun na nga nag-a-assume ka na, hay, inasa ko for coffee. Does that mean gusto niya akong ligawan? Assumption na yon. And once you make that assumption na, ay, gusto ako nito, guess what? Yung own emotions mo will move towards that direction na, ay, gusto niya ako, therefore, baka magustuhan ko din siya. Kasi you already made that assumption. But then, nag-meet kayo for coffee, yun, may presentation lang pala siya, may proposal, di ba?
May paluwagan.
Oo, so you went ahead with the wrong assumption, alan-ala, yung emotions mo, sumunod na dun sa assumption mo, mali naman pala. And you know, I mean, that's probably, it's a funny illustration yung sinasabi natin, pero it happens a lot.
Sobra,
and
yeah.
the guy might not be giving you a proposal for business, pero baka nag-text ng good morning sa'yo, 'di ba? Or nag-text ng good night sa'yo. Yun nga, first and last text of the day, 'di ba? Nag-a-assume ka na, oh, baka gusto ako nito.
Mm.
Walang verbaling sinabi, until the intention is verbally expressed, women, I suggest, do not make any assumptions.
Yep.
Yeah,
So I
you
think that's one major guardrail. Huwag tayong assumptionista. Hindi ka na mag-assumption.
like that.
Hindi like that. Tsaka huwag kang maging parang please refrain from being Miss Dictionary, lahat meaning.
Yan.
Binigyan niya ako ng paper plate eh. So ibig
Yeah.
sabihin, gusto niya ako above all the women there.
Tama. Yun na nga, parang we read into it so much na parang, hello, lahat naman binigyan niya. Hindi lang naman ikaw. Di ba? Yung ganon. Parang, don't let your mind go ahead of reality.
Yes. I like that. Tungtong ka pa rin sa lupa, girl. Okay lang. Kailangan connected ka pa rin sa reality. That's why I really appreciate this. There are a lot of disciple makers, like leaders like you, Ate Jenn, and a lot of other women leaders there na nagdi-disciple ng mga young ladies because talagang sobrang deceiving ng emotions eh. Minsan sobra yung binibigay mo dun sa yung actual na commitment mo sa relationship.
Yes.
Na friendship lang naman. So can we explore on that?
I like that. I like what you said na parang part of guardrails is don't give of yourself, of your time too much to this person. Don't give these things that are intended to be given in marriage already.
Yeah.
Right? So parang itapat mo sa commitment level ng relationship nyo yung binibigay mo sa relationship. Right? So kung friends lang kayo, ang commitment ng friends siguro from 1 to 10. If you're just friends, not even close friends, parang you're just friends, ang commitment level niyan would be 3. Right?
Yes.
So in terms of bigay mo sa puso mo, tsaka yung investment mo sa time, kailangan nasa 3 lang din siya.
Correct.
You're not even...
Pwede mag-4 pag birthday.
Ganon, pwede namang i-adjust ng konti yan.
Yes.
But then as you become closer, ibig sabihin, mas lumalalim yung commitment nyo in the relationship. Then pwedeng you give more of yourself habang lumalalim yung commitment. But unless, alam mo yung verbally articulated commitment, that's agreed by both of you, you can withhold certain things.
Yes.
Right? Kasi the more you invest in a relationship, the more nahuhulog ka doon. And the harder it is for you to get out. Kasi ang dami mo nang yan. So kailangan ipantay natin. Right? Yung investment. Yan.
Yes. Parang siya, parang I read about it, Ate Jenn, yung parang do not write checks. Yung mga cheque na hindi mo naman kayang bayaran o mag-commit to it. So there, and save yourself from heartbreaks.
Agree. Grabe, no? We're talking from experience, Jack. Di ba? Alam naman natin to. We're actually just sharing, guys, the lessons we have learned. Kasi ang hirap masaktan. Ang hirap ng heartbreak, guys. So we're sharing. Hopefully, we can help you by the things that we share.
Yes, I think there are a lot of wisdom there na na iwasan niyo na, please. Kung pwede niyong iwasan. Ano yun? Tanggapin niyo yung sakit na karapat-dapat. Wag na to kasi ang hindi okay tong move na to eh. So galingan niyo na lang sa susunod. Wag na tong tinahak namin kasi we tried and tested this. It really hurts.
I agree.
Anyway. All right.
Yeah,
so
that's the second point. Guard your heart. And the third, and this is the last point, don't date alone.
Ayan, gusto ko yan. Don't date alone. So kailangan group project. Tama ba?
And we don't mean literally na palaging may chaperone ka, 'di ba? Coffee lang. Kailangan merong third wheel. Hindi siya literal na dating with a group palagi. Now, when we say date alone is don't go through this journey alone na nag-iisa ka. kailangan there's always someone who knows what's happening, who can speak into your life, who can see your blind spots. That's why they're
Yes.
called blind spots. Kasi hindi mo nakikita as a person. Pag emotional ka, nabubulag ka.
Yes. Love is blind, but your neighbors can see.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Kaya if you intend to date, if you feel you're ready to do it, I mean, go do it, 'di ba? We encourage all of you to date. But don't do it alone. Meron talagang value yung input ng ibang tao sa buhay natin.
Right. So, I really like it. Kasi, ang follow-up question ko lang dyan, Ate Jen, is do not date alone, but who are these people that I can tag along with this season? Like if someone laid down his intention sa akin, kunyari girl ako, and then okay, so don't get paranoid or don't get too emotional. So okay, so I remember do not date alone, but who are these people that I can tag along?
Tama. Good question kasi you can be dating and have someone to guide you na ibang-iba naman yung values, 'di ba? Pwedeng
Kasi
sabihin
na
niya,
nagkatuluyan, aray ko.
oh no. Sakit nun. No, but there are people na who come to me and say, Ate Jen, I want to hear your input. Kasi when I ask my friends, they tell me, okay lang yan, everyone does it naman. 'Di ba? So just go ahead. So parang ibang-iba din yung nabibigay na input sa kanila compared to the biblical perspective of it. So I suggest that you go to someone who can help you see the godly perspective to how you are doing things, because the world has its own patterns. Let's not forget
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
Society, culture, they have their own patterns that don't necessarily agree with what the word of God says. And we know that's why kita naman natin na ang dami talagang heartbreaks, ang daming even unwanted pregnancies. 'Di ba? Ang dami damaged emotions now, damaged people because of relationships gone wrong kasi they followed the ways of the world. It never works. And taas ng divorce rate.
Yes.
And the world would say, just, go try, select and collect. Whatever. They have all collect and select.
Lalo ngayon sorry, Ate Jen. Lalo ngayon, kasi parang if you follow the ways of the world, like the pop culture right now, Instagram can be really, really deceiving also. That your relationship should be like this, so you gang up on someone, or it's just okay if you date right now, then goodbye, and then date again, blah, 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 something like that. So a lot of things that yung bumubuo sa mind tsaka sa values ng young women right now. That's the reason why we also want to do this podcast with women like you that can educate and can really disciple young generation girls right now.
Yeah. So I hope when you choose people who will go through this journey with you, choose someone who can always point you to God and His word. And yung who can talagang coming from a sincere heart, who wants to protect you, who's just watching out for you, who wants the best for you, someone you can trust, someone who's sana way ahead of you, or I wouldn't say way ahead, but even just a little ahead of you, who has experience in that also. Look for those people who can talk freely and objectively to you, speak into your situation, kasi our feelings can deceive us. The heart is deceitful talaga. So our heart will blind us to our own faults, not just our own faults, it can blind us to the fault of the other person.
Yes. Oh,
diba?
wow. Yeah.
Kita na ng lahat, parang, Jen, bakit siya? Ikaw hindi mo makita. It's like, no, hindi yan. That's not true. That's not him at all. But everyone sees it.
Ang nakakalungkot, Ate Jen, sa people that you are like guiding, like that who promised you, parang who tagged you along, when you speak life with them and then, no, I think, blah, blah, objectively you're speaking to their life and then yung kanilang parang mic drop, mahal ko eh. Huh?
Oh. No, I know. Kaya nga wala na, na-deceive ka na. And then years after, guess who will, 'di ba? Who will be heartbroken? Guess who will be hurt? Who will be in pain? Yeah,
That's
so
right.
yeah, just trust these people that they are around you because they love you and they care for you. So ako, unang-una sa akin parents eh. If you
Ayan.
want good, loving relationship with your parents, be open. I appreciate my kids because they're very open to us. And it took a process also. And kami rin kami ni my husband and I, we had to adjust some things to give them a safe place to open up.
That's
Before
right.
kasi parang we would react, we would make comments, diba? That would make them
Body language.
body language. So natuto kami over the years to make sure our kids feel safe to open up to us. And if there are parents listening here, sobrang importante nun. Give your kids a safe place, safe space to open up. So if you have that kind of relationship with your parents, please open up to them kasi they know so much more than you. They're wiser than you.
That's
And
right.
they know you best eh. Sometimes they know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah.
Kaya, oo,
Saka hindi ka nila binobola o hindi. Sinasabi lang talaga nila yung katotohanan.
Tama yon. Oo. So their input is always valuable. So I hope that you can trust your parents enough to bring them along to your dating journey. Then
Yes.
aside from your parents, baka there are people in church that you look up to. Diba? People na alam mo yung nakita mo yung buhay tapos, uy, gusto ko yan. Or nakita mo yung relationship nila na gusto kong, I like their example. Then, feel free to approach them and just ask them. I'm sure they would be willing to help you out.
That's right. Ate Jen, I think when we were dating din ni Trina, walang nakakaalam sa single friends ko. Ang nakakaalam lang, wala talaga nakakaalam, hindi nila alam. Nung naging official na kami, tapos mag-propose na ako, doon lang nila nalaman. Like with Jordan, sila Ray, sila yung mga yan. So hindi nila alam talaga until ang nakakaalam lang nun, married people. Because I think, sabi ko rin sa sarili ko, bakit ka sabihin sa kanila, pares din naman kami ng pinagdaanan ngayon, tsaka hindi pa sila quote-unquote ahead sa akin yet. So yung mga pinagsabihan ko nun, talagang married, been there, done that, and then that's why I cannot agree more sa sinabi niya na date, ano yung third point? Date na
don't date alone.
Don't date alone. So yun, date and then tag along people. So yun, ang saya. So there's so much wisdom with that. So ang number 1 point natin is pursue Jesus. Number 2, guard your heart. And number 3, do not date alone. So I think it's a very good time to land this conversation. We have learned a lot. Actually, simple pa lang to. Actually, Ate Jen, marami siyang talks and seminar about these topics. You can check her podcast. May podcast din pala.
Wala eh. So.
Wala pa, coming soon guys. Pero you can check her out basta attend kayo kapag meron siyang talk. Anyway, Ate Jen, we're going to land this conversation and I think if there's let's buckle up and land this one. If there's one, like send 2 statements or 3 statements that you can sum up or summary, what do you want to tell these young ladies? So let's go.
Okay. Mahirap ang 3 sentences, but let's see. Dating is a fun time in your life, and I would tell my kids, enjoy this time. It's part of the process, right? If you see yourself getting married in the future, dating is part of the process, and it can actually be one of the happiest time of your life where you can experience so much growth as a person, so much discovery. But then again, don't go into it without wisdom. I think yun yung summary ko. Just do it wisely with godly wisdom, not worldly wisdom. So
That's
that
right.
you can make the most and get the most out of your dating experience.
Yes, ang saya nun. So I think yung aking final thoughts din is something to that effect
Mm,
na you do not know it all. So,
yeah.
hindi mo alam lahat. Even if you are following some podcasts, following some people that you look up to in Instagram, they're Christians, all that. Katulad ng sinabi ni Ate Jen, walang formula. You have your own walk with God. So, might as well enjoy those faith moments.
Yes.
Kasi may sarili-sarili talaga na 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 journey and walk with God. That's why you do not know it all, do not date alone, guard your heart, and pursue Jesus above all.
Yes.
Yay! That's it, guys. Thank you so much, Ate Jen, for gracing us with your presence and your
Well,
wisdom.
thanks for inviting me, Jack. This was fun.
You're
Hi
welcome po.
to Trina and your two beautiful daughters.
Thank you po. Thank you po. Anyway, guys, if you would like to share, if you have reached this part of the podcast po, you can share this if you think that someone would benefit from it, you can freely share it, and then you can email us at thebrodies.ph@gmail.com if you have any questions. Thank you. We are reading all your questions and we're gonna get back to you soon kasi ang dami talaga nila. Mga
Yeah.
tatlo. Yung isa pa spammer. Anyway, thank you everybody. God bless you and we will see you again for our part 2. Thank you, Ate Jen. Bye!
Bye!
Yo, mic check para sa podcast na madali lang pakinggan. Pwede kaming white noise while you're washing the pinggan. Jump rope, biking, jogging, or driving sa daan. Willing kaming sumama sa inyo kahit saan. The Brodies, hindi ka nag-iisa.